Take a look at this footage. Notice how the slow motion captures the steam rising off the coffee, giving the moment a profound sense of calm. This is the exact aesthetic you are going to learn how to create today. We're building what is known as a silent vlog. Instead of talking to the camera or performing for an audience, we rely entirely on carefully framed visuals and natural audio to document a routine. Step 1 is gathering the right tools. You need 3 things: a camera or smartphone, a mini tripod to stabilize shots, and any free editing software. You don't need a high-end production rig to achieve this look. By slowing down and intentionally centering your subject, you give the viewer a specific point of focus that makes a mundane moment feel important. Pointing a camera at random events won't automatically engage your audience. To keep a viewer watching without dialogue, you have to build a clear chronological flow before you ever press record. This is a sketch using a technique called scamping. You divide a piece of paper into 4 to 6 panels to map out a single daily sequence, like your morning routine. For instance, if your task is making coffee, your panels should show the beans being ground, the water pouring, and finally, the finished cup resting on a desk. You are designing a distinct beginning, middle, and end. Mapping the sequence out on paper ensures that a simple chore translates into a cohesive, intentional journey for the viewer. Now we must set up the room. Your first physical action is to turn off your overhead lights. Downward lighting casts harsh shadows under your eyes and creates a flat, uninteresting image. This diagram shows the ideal setup. Notice the window on the right. You want to place your subject so that the primary light source hits them at a 45-degree angle, creating soft directional contrast across the frame. But if you turn on an indoor lamp while using that natural window light, you mix color temperatures. The camera sensor struggles to process the clash between the warm orange bulb and the cool blue daylight, resulting in unnatural skin tones. To avoid this, physically move your camera and your body until you are operating entirely within one consistent, unmixed zone of light. Sticking to a single light direction and a uniform temperature is the primary factor in separating amateur phone footage from professional aesthetics. When it's time to shoot, mount your camera to the mini tripod. This locks the frame in place and removes any jittery, distracting handheld movement from the shot. As you follow your storyboard, alternate your framing. Shoot wide angles to establish the room, and then push the camera in tight to capture the small, isolated details of the task. Apply the 10-second rule to every setup. After you finish the physical action, let the camera keep rolling for 10 extra seconds to ensure you have enough padding for the edit. To make those tight detail shots pop, you will use depth of field. This is an optical effect where the subject remains razor sharp while the background blurs, forcing the viewer's eye exactly where you want it. Take a look at this infographic. As the camera's f-stop number drops to f1.8, the lens aperture opens wider. That mechanical shift narrows your plane of focus, melting the background into a soft blur. With the visuals locked, you must capture the audio. Position the camera's microphone as close to the action as possible to pick up the distinct microscopic sounds of the room. Listen for the specific textures in your environment, the crisp rustle of fabric, the heavy clack of a mechanical keyboard, or the steady scratching of a pen on paper. Pairing a shallow focal plane with isolated environmental sounds removes peripheral distractions, keeping the viewer's attention locked strictly on the texture of the current moment. Once you import your footage, the final step is assembly. Because there is no voiceover to guide the narrative, your primary challenge in the edit is maintaining the viewer's attention through pacing alone. This timeline shows the result of that process. Notice how every individual clip is trimmed so that no single action remains on screen for longer than 4 to 6 seconds. Next, detach the native audio from your video clips. Boost the volume on those ambient sound layers so they become the primary narrative voice of the video. Underneath that ambient track, you can drop in a secondary layer of lo-fi music. Cap the volume of the music at 10 to 15% so it supports the environment without overpowering the room noise. Finish the sequence by applying a subtle color grade to warm up the image, and add minimalistic text subtitles if you need to provide extra context about the location or time of day. Maintaining this specific clip pacing alongside a rich audio mix creates a rhythmic flow, turning a series of ordinary tasks into an immersive, continuous sequence. And here is the result. By executing these steps, you capture calm moments, like this journal opening on a desk, with complete clarity. You planned the actions on paper, isolated your lighting, tightened the depth of field, and layered the natural room audio. That combination is what achieves a professional aesthetic. All that's left is to export your timeline. Extract a clean, text-free screenshot to serve as an inviting thumbnail, and apply targeted search tags so your audience can find the video. Hit publish and share your work. You now have the framework to prove that the quiet, everyday routines in your life hold real cinematic value.